Now, Uncle Wesley mentioned something in the sit down I had with him. He said that when he migrated over to the U.S. first time, well, at the beginning, he said at one point he wasn't able to travel back and forth. Um, you know, be it documentation or whatnot lacking. And he said a lot of stuff happened and he could not go back home to see or to be, to be a comfort to the family back home. You ever find yourself in that type of situation?
Yes, that's very true. When grandfather died, when grandfather James Oemler died, I was in that situation also where I just come to New York and was not able to travel for the same reason of not having the travel documents. I mean, when you come in and you're trying to get straight, you are not really able to leave the country and to come back in because then it throws your paperwork, whatever, back further. So at that point, I was not able to go home and, to his funeral. But as time go on, you sort of think and reflect back about those things. Now, when my grandmother died, Olai, when she died, we were able to go home. I was able to go home and bury her along with Mac, Dale, my wife. We all went back and we buried her. We took care of that. My family means a lot. Okay, I don't care who say, well, my family this, my family that. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have family to back you, you don't have it.
Speaking of James Oemler is mentioned every day, especially leading up to events such as what we're at now, the 2017 Chosen Generation Family Reunion. Um, James Oemler, what type of person was James Oemler?
James Oemler, I knew him as being a quiet person. He was a carpenter, a boat builder. He was sexton in the Baptist church. He worked his field. He had a field down in Big Road. And one of the fantastic things he did was in wearing shoe. What he wear was called a wampus.
A wampus.
Wampus. Where they would get the car tire and cut it and put rope around it and wear that as a shoe in the field. So those are some of the things I can remember of him. But he was loving and he cared for his grandchildren. If you go to him and say, "Pa, I'm hungry," he'll say, "Well, go and get something to eat. I'll fix something for you to eat."
It sounds like a very meek individual.
Yes, and he would never let you go at the house or say go in the field in the morning unless you get something to eat. You have some tea and bread, or you'll have porridge, soft grits, what we call cornflower pap, cocoa lump.
Cocoa lump or cocoa bomb,
Or
like my wife
cocoa
says.
lump, yeah. Or there's another one called brown duja, where you brown the sugar and you treat it like you do the cocoa. But it was good.
Any fond memories of James you want to share with everyone?
James was a loving grandfather and a father. At least he was a father to me. Okay, because I grew up with him, I was told that I born in the house there, and I never left the house until I was of age, or when I was 14, when I went away to the Bahamas. I grew up in the house and everything. When I went back home on vacation, I went there and I stayed there with him. So he was my father. I loved him, and he took care of me.
And it's excellent, man. A lot of people talk about James. Tonight, Dale asked, what was James' full name? A lot of people couldn't answer. You know?
James Edwin Owen.
There we go. Now we have his James
James
Edwin.
Edwin. Edwin Owen.
Okay. Now, besides growing up in your grandfather's house, what was the overall vibe? Because you said that your mother did live on the same property, right? What was the overall vibe back then, having family stationed around each other so closely? What was your relationship like with your mother, your aunts, your cousins?
It was a good relationship. I could walk from my grandfather's house to my mother's house, go there, spend time, and go back home. You know, At dinner time, I can go to my mom's house and she cook, or I go, wherever. Um, the courtship between the two families is whenever one is finished cooking, they would send food from one place to the other, and make sure that somebody is eating. We all are eating. It's a close knit family. Um, she loved her father. Her father loved her. He loved Mac. He loved Dale. As a matter of fact, Dale name, he used to call Dale Bale instead of Dale. He said Bale. And we know that anytime he's eating, he never eat all his food. He would always leave something in the plate, and he would call Bale or Mac or whoever there to come and get food. Even Marjorie grew up there with my mom for a while also. At least when Harold came to the Bahamas, that's where she left Marjorie. And she grew up with my mother also.
So, you and Marjorie, and I assume Mary Jane, those had more of a brother-sister type relationship.
Yes, yes. We grew up like brothers and sisters.
So how was it growing up with Mary Jane?
Mary Jane was, she's not as my dear as she is now, but she was good. We had that good family relation. We understand, we know our boundaries, we know where to go and how not to react. Pearlie was a strict person, okay, and she would keep us on our toes.
Strict person. So it's easier to get away with something with grandfather James than it was to get away with Hurley.
Yes, well, with James, for example, if my grandmother was chastising me, and he come by, he asked her, what are you doing? And she said, leave him alone. He would always cover us and say, well, no, leave him alone, leave him alone. And if he go to beat you for any reason, he get a tambourine switch. As soon as he hits you the first or the two cut, you start screaming, he'll stop and get you a cup of water or a can of water and say, drink it. And that's it. Just leave it as that. He was loving and caring.
So did you pick up any trade from him?
Well, I'm not a carpenter, no. I don't think any of us really pick up the trade of carpenter. I think Wesley has a little bit of carpentry in him. But no, I don't.
But what would you say one quality of James Oemler that you feel like you inherited?
Caring for and providing for family. Because I know he cared for his family, he provided for his family. That's something that everybody should try to do. Each man should try and take care of his family, provide for them. That's what he did for his family.